In a lot of businesses, you'll have client lists that you built up for years, and you'll have people come in and work with you, and then they'll want to steal these clients or take them, and of course, they don't want to pay you for all the work you've done building up this list over the years. I'm going to give you an option that I think works pretty well to discourage this kind of behavior. My name is Maurice Kempner. I'm an attorney, business consultant, and coach. And welcome to True Legacy Wealth Media. Anyway, so what happens is you get somebody that come in, so like a consulting business, or maybe you're some kind of a financial advisor and or tax preparation service, real estate, whatever it is, and there's all these clients, this client list, and people will come in and they'll try to take these clients that they build a relationship with while they're there with you in your business, while they're working for you in their business. And then they go off and they say, well, I'm just going to take these clients, go out and start on my own. They don't give any consideration to the years of relationship building you've done or how much it costs you to acquire these clients over the years. They just want to take them and keep them for themselves. So what happens is people will make these non-compete agreements that say, well, you can't do these things within a certain period of time. They're mainly just trying to stop you from taking all the clients, leaving the business of taking all these clients with you, right? So, what I think is a better way to do it in a lot of cases is you do a buy sell agreement. You can still do a non compete agreement that can cover other things like what kind of activities they can do within a certain area, that kind of stuff. But the problem with the challenge with these non-compete agreements is most states and jurisdictions, especially like places like California, for example, they really don't enforce those very well, and so you just get screwed. It's really hard. There's so many ways around it that they just, for all intents and purposes, in most cases or a lot of cases, they don't even work. So what you do is you do a buy-sell agreement. Okay. So let's say you have some kind of consulting business and there's this client list of people that you built up over the years. When somebody comes and works with you in your business, you say, well, each client is worth three times. You define certain things, right? And you put it in this contract. So you say, you take the average amount of money paid over the last 3 years and times that by three. So you take what the client paid each year for 3 years, average that out to a number. So this is the average income per year from that client. Then times that by three or four, for example, and you say this is the value. This is how we determine the value of a client. So you just come up with some way to determine what the value of the client is, and it needs to be some kind of a reasonable value that people would actually want to pay, that would make sense, because then it's a legitimate business transaction, right? And been into the business during the last 3 years in the business. So you do that, and you define what these clients are worth and how you're going to determine it. And then you give a really good definition of what the client list is. So anybody who's owner of the business has provided any service to them in the last 3 years or whatever. And then you got to do some other things. I mean, people will try to find ways around. Well, they'll have somebody else start the business and have that person solicit all of the clients and not pay you for them. So anyway, there's ways you can deal with that in a contract too. So you make this contract as airtight as you can. And then now basically, if the person you put in there, how do they exercise the purchase, right? Well, one, they just come and say, I want to purchase this client, here's the money, and they give you the money. The other one is if they provide any service during the next 3 years after they separate from the company for any client on this client list, that's considered to be a purchase. See, that would be another way you could word it. So instead of having relying on a non-compete for 3 years or 5 years or whatever, 2 years, whatever it is, it would be a buy-sell agreement. Now, you got to be reasonable at times. You can't say like 100 years. I mean, you want a court to uphold these kind of agreements. So it needs to be a legitimate buy-sell agreement. Clients are sold at a reasonable price. Here's the price. The money's due right away. And people, when they go out on their own, they don't typically want to take your clients and pay for them. They just want to take for nothing. If they got to pay all this money for these clients and the money's due right away, If they want to go out and get a loan, or if they have the money and they want to pay it, well, then you're getting paid for it. So you're getting compensated. Otherwise, if you just have a non-compete, you just get nothing, right? And if you try to litigate it, it could cost you a lot of money, and it's not that likely you're going to get good results in a lot of cases. So anyway, this is just another way you can protect your client list. Another thing is you can have a lease agreement with these clients, right, or a use of the client list, right? And you can say, well, if you do any work for these clients, you got to pay me for the use of the client list. And that could even be why they're there working with you in the business, right? The way you organize and structure the business, that can be done in there. And so then if they separate completely, they're still bound by this agreement to pay a fee. They're just basically leasing or have a license to your client list. And if you've got a well defined description of what a client list is, they pay you. They got to pay you. So anyway, those are just some ideas you can use. You can talk to an attorney, which I recommend them drop a good solid agreement. I think it's a good idea to come up with the agreement as best you can on your own before you take it into the attorney. That can save you a lot of money. You just basically want to tell the attorney if you're going to use an attorney, which I think might be better if, depending on the attorney you get. If you get a good one, if you get a bad one, that's not good. But you get a good attorney that understands contracts, a contract law attorney, and you take it and you say, "This is what I want the contract to accomplish. This is the goal. This is what I want it to do." And these are the terms, then he should be able to write that agreement for you. Or just go over an agreement that you write yourself, right? And modify it. And that could save you a lot of money if you've got all that work done for him. Anyway, so I hope this helps for those of you who have client lists that you're trying to protect. And of course, you can always get some income on these client lists. And I think that's fair and reasonable because you've done all this work to build up these client lists and build your reputation. And if people are paying you to use a client list, it's an opportunity for you to help them and provide some services to them that help them and your clients so that everybody's happy too. I hope this helps. And if you appreciate this video, I hope that you'll like it for us and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.